Master John, Master Tian, Master Chai, and all Tao Kim, good evening. Again, tonight, Shuan Suli will continue to give us her compassionate guidance about the 15 Buddha's discipline. 咱真正的邀请咱的Shuan Suli 跟咱慈悲示导。Let us invite our Shuan Suli for her compassionate guidance.
感謝天恩師爹，左師紅師，是師尊師廟的大爹，老前人、雲前人，各位領導點傳師，總領導點傳師、領導點傳師及各位點傳師的栽培，及各位前賢今仔暗，各好學學這個機會讓來學習。Thank you to the heavens' grace and to the teacher's virtue and to the great virtue of our teacher Maitreya and to the compassionate heart of our Sư尊and Sư Mu, and also to our 长老前人、元前人, and also to our 总领导 and 领导点传师, and to all the 点传师 for their guidance and support, and to everybody who are here tonight, who are given me tonight the opportunity to learn again here on Zoom. Our topic tonight is still the 15 Buddha rules and regulations. Nên kinaam wan sa belay haksip sab go tiao hut kui. Kinaam leg bem kanga si te si tiao xun kui tao chu. Tonight we are on the fourth topic, observe and obey rules and regulations. Xun quy tao chu,咱先来讲什么是循规蹈矩。循及道就是说叫咱着遵循，就是着依照伊个条规怎啊讲，咱就着对伊对。规是一个咧个创要画圆形的工具，咱若要将一个圆形画啊也圆，咱就着用一个规。咱顶面有一个规的图，矩是要画直线的工具。咱若要画直线，还是要画一个四角形，咱就着用用一个矩，一个四角的形才会画啊真准，一条直线才会画啊真直。循 and 道 means to follow and to act according to the rules. 规 is a compass. Literally, it is a compass, and it is a tool that is used to make a perfect circle. While Ju is a ruler, it is a tool that is used to make a straight line, and also we will also use it when we want to make a perfect square. So, ilan say, 规，咱若是一个修道者，咱若讲规，咱就是咧讲佛规。咱一个修道者若要好好的修道，咱就着缀在佛规去行去做。主原在是也是咧讲是佛规，所以规甲主就是咱一个修道人应该着好好去遵守的。咱着按照佛规去做代志，因为咱真福气，咱有法能求着道，求着道了，咱会愿每一个人就是爱希望说有法能一世修一世成。不过，咱若无要守佛规，咱就会去做胆的代志。安尼做坏胆的代志，咱个人就得大家家己去担当。When we say 规，as a cultivator, as a Tao cultivator, when we say 规, it means the Buddha rules and regulations, and also 矩, it also still refers to the Buddha rules and regulations. And as a cultivator, we have to abide and follow what the Buddha rules and regulations has told us to do, because we all know that we are very lucky that we are able to receive Tao. So after receiving Tao, what are our wishes? Everybody wishes that after a lifetime of cultivation, we can all be successful and later to become a Buddha. But without following and abiding to these rules and regulations, we might be doing so many mistakes. We might commit mistakes that later on we ourselves have to carry those karma. 所以咱就尽咱的力量，尽咱的用咱所有法的点睛来学习佛规，研究佛规。咱的佛规袂做你说咱无了解，凊彩读咧，听咧，咱就一条一条去了解，所以咱就有法通跟伊去做。So we have to learn the Buddha rules and regulations one by one very carefully, so that we will know what to do and what not to do. So 第一條，咱就要來學習循規蹈矩的真正的意思。所以今日暗咱要學習，看咱的志工老師怎樣甲咱解釋循規蹈矩。So tonight we are going to discuss on what is the real meaning of following the Buddha rules and regulations. And tonight we will try to discuss how our teacher Qigong has explained to us about this topic, Qigong Dao Ju. So teacher Qigong 老師有甲咱講問，就是開始就是甲咱問說，什麼是Qigong Dao Ju？到底咱就學什麼什麼規矩？ So teacher Qigong said, what is the meaning of following rules and regulations? And what are these rules and regulations? 所以Qigong 老師甲咱講說，循規就是就是着爬回佛規去做。When we say 循規, it means that we have to follow the Buddha rules that we need to abide to. 所以所謂嘅道具，就是講咱每一個人就會有法人所謂履行，咱有法人做好咱每一個人嘅本分。咱是什麼角色，咱是什麼身份，咱就家己知影，而且咱就將這個角色甲這個身份，盡咱嘅力量去做推好勢。所以咱若是一個，咱嘅角色若是咧做一個人，是一個家己，咱就要盡孝道。咱若是一個父母，咱就要將父母嘅責任做好。咱每一個人都要盡家己嘅本分。So, when we say Daoju, it means that everyone should know their position and should act accordingly. So we have to know our duties and responsibilities. We have to do them properly, and we have to know what role we are playing and what is our identity, and that we have to play these roles properly. So example, if we are playing the role of a daughter or a son, so the first thing to do is to practice filial piety. We have to love our parents, obey our parents, and listen to what they are saying. So as a parent, when our role is as a parent, then we have to play the role of a parent, and we have to perform our responsibility properly as a parent. So everybody must do their role and act according to what kind of identity they are having in the society. 咱若是一個學生，咱就要好好去將咱的冊讀推好勢。咱若是一個生理人，咱就要做好一個生理人的本分。咱若做生理，唔通去欺騙別人，唔通去要唬別人，咱就虛真假實。咱若要摕人的錢，咱就知影說咱予人的物件是有拄好。迄個假開，所以咱每一個人佇家己嘅崗位頂，咱就堂正正會做代志，唔通說要去害人，還是要去唬人，要去加賺較濟錢咧，咱就老實實嘅做代志。So if we are acting as a student, then we should study well. Our role is to study well and to do our assignments and to learn our lessons properly. If we are acting as a businessman, then we have to do business fairly. That we do not want to earn more than what we deserve. So everybody should act according to where they stand, and that they should do things in an honest way, in a dignified way. Do not think of trying to do harm to other people, and we have to be honest to everybody and to everything. Now, as a cultivator, 即阵咱来讲，咱的角色若是一个修行人，咱就得遵守佛规。遵守佛规，咱就得来守一个五戒：戒杀、戒盗、戒淫、戒妄、戒酒。歹歹甲恶歹拢讲，就尽量唔通去做。咱就会晓要改无脾气。因为咱若知无脾气，若无法通过，咱一定会去违反着咱的法规。So, as a cultivator, if our role is as a cultivator, we have to abide to the Buddha rules and regulations. And we have to know that there are 5 things that a cultivator should not do. They should not kill, do not kill, do not steal, do not commit adultery, do not lie, and do not drink alcoholic drinks. And also we have to try our best to change our bad habits and to eliminate our bad temper. Because if we cannot eliminate our temper and we cannot get rid of our bad habits, it is very sure that we will be committing mistakes, and it will be going against the Buddha rules and regulations. So, 这个是咱志工老师的分文，伊要教咱说，咱要怎啊？什么是循规蹈矩？ This is the teaching of our Qigong, teacher Qigong about the topic 循规蹈矩。伊讲循序渐进，实地行 ，take time to advance in the proper order。即咱若修道，咱就一步一步的来行。佛规就是着依照佛规去做，依照佛规怎啊说，咱就着怎啊去做。咱嘛着一步一步的求进步。 实实在在的修道 ，that we have to take take one step at a time to learn about the Buddha rules and regulations, and we have to also try to day after day to have improvements on our cultivation. That we have to take cultivation very seriously. 规律使圆放光明，用规。 咱若要用一个规，一个 compass 来画圆形，咱就画咱就用一个规，所咱的画的圆形才会真正的圆。这项物件若真正的圆，伊才有法咱发出伊的光明。迄个圆就是咱的自性。迄个圆若真正圆，真正光，安尼咱就较袂去染着土昏，染着阿杂。 So when we are using a compass to make a circle, it is only when we use a compass to make a circle that we can make a very perfect circle. And when a circle is at its perfect round shape, it is the time that it will eliminate light. A compass lets a circle eliminate brightness. So, and that circle represents our true self. So when our true self is really eliminating brightness and it is really round, that is the time that it will not be catching any dust or dirt. 道如易路满天下, practicing the rules with perseverance spreads righteousness everywhere. 咱若用易路就是说咱一路咧行，咱的一世人咧行咧做代志，咱都着动动静静。咱就用道来做咱的看咱要怎啊做代志，甲对待别人。When we say 易路 it is practicing, it is living a life the dignified way. So we have to use Tao to know how we will face other people, how we will communicate with other people, and how we deal with things. 举报可方为准胜 Rule serves as a criteria for perfection. 所以咱就好好咱的用具，咱就是要画直线，还是要画一个四角形、一个方形。咱做代志就有准线，迄个就是说，咱袂做咧超过迄个准线。咱才会知影说，咱做代志，兼且咱已经做出头路，还是说咱做无够咯，咱就有一个准线。咱才会知影说，咱做有拄好无。咱做人甲处代志都照一个分线，因为这个就是咱人生的目标。When we deal with people or when we are doing things, we have to have a standard in doing things, because that standard will serve as our direction in life, so that we will not be doing more than what we should or doing less than what we should do. 咱就好好的遵守做法规。这个是一个修行者的准线。That is the criterion or a yardstick for a cultivator. 为什么咱要定做法规 ？Why is there the need to set Buddha rules and regulations? 所以咱的志工老师讲，为什么咱要搁定做法规啊？伊讲，因为咱来求道，求道了到底是要做什么啊？所以咱大家就会说讲，咱来求道了，大家的愿望就是说到落尾，有法人成道，有法人成仙、成佛、成圣。Why is there a need to set Buddha rules and regulations? After receiving Tao, what do we want to achieve? We want to do in accordance to what is required of us to ultimately become Buddhas, saints, and sages. 所以咱大家都真福气，因为咱差不多咱大家都是已经有求道的，咱大家得到道了后，老师就问说：恁得到道了后，恁是到底要得到什么呀？就是亲像咱的五祖弘忍大师，伊问六祖去找伊的时，伊问六祖：你来找我要创啥？我遮也无半项物件人互你，你到底来要做什么代志？咱的六祖就解释：我无要求什么代志，一项都无要求，我只有求要成佛。所以亲像咱一阵咱大家求着道，咱都着真欢喜，真着因为咱大家也福气，所以求道了，咱就着照法规去做。So we are very lucky that most of all of us have already received Tao. But after receiving Tao, our teacher Qigong asked us that a question. After receiving Tao, what do you wish to have? Just as like our sixth patriarch, Hui Neng, when he went to our fifth patriarch, he was asked a question. I have nothing to give you. What do you want from to take from to have? So our sixth patriarch answered that I do not need anything. There is nothing that I want, but I only want to become a Buddha. So 成仙成佛就是一个修道人的目的。求了道就着，求了道，每一个人求着道了都是一个修行者。所以咱求的道，甲王麦怀圣贤仙佛求的道是相同的。所以咱就真正的感觉说，这个道真宝贵，而且咱真非常的福气，咱有法人亲像怀圣贤。为仙佛王麦得到的道，咱即阵咱嘛是得到咯。得到道了，咱若将咱的信心发出来，咱就大概是已经是一个修行人咯，修道人咯。所以咱要做一个咱的本分就是着做好好的做一个修道人。咱着存佛心，讲佛话，甲做佛事。咱就是着心，就是较咱佛祖呢有迄个佛心。咧讲的话就是着讲佛话， 咱要做的代志嘛是亲像佛祖咧做的代志。咱袂即你说我爱做一项，我就做迄项，我无要听，我佛规，迄个是毋对的。So, we are very lucky that we have received Tao. So after receiving Tao, when we are very sincere, all of us will become a cultivator. So the Tao that we have received today is the same as the Tao that our saints and sages has received before. So we should know that we are really very, very lucky that we are receiving the same Tao, exactly the same Tao that they were receiving before. So our role now, after receiving Tao, we are all playing the role of a cultivator. So we have to have the Buddha heart, we have to talk like Buddha, and we have to do the things that Buddha was doing. 你若无照佛规来做，你要怎啊成佛？成仙成佛成圣呢？而且你平时若无要所谓利行，你要怎啊有法通成仙成佛成圣？ If one do not follow the rules strictly, how can he end up to become a saint and sage? 每一个人都着所谓利行，就是神鬼斗志的最基本的条件。Thus, everyone should know their position and should act accordingly. This is the basic requirement. 所以咱即阵来讲一个故事，这个故事原在是原真人的故事。这故事就是说咱非分之财唔通摕。Let us now share a story of a Yuan Qian Ren. It is a story about telling us that we should not take anything that does not belong to us. So 一日咱的佛祖甲阿兰做一个伫路咧咧行，忽然间伊看见路边有一堆的黄金，毋过嘛无人伫迄位，所以毋知影这迄位块黄金到底是谁的。所以咱的佛祖就讲几块黄金，伊则问阿兰，阿兰说你有看起一条毒蛇无？阿兰解说。佛祖有啊，我看去，迄个是一只毒蛇，所以伫路咧咧行，因全行去咯，因无去插迄堆黄金。毋过边头有一对白鸭仔，因伫边头咧作息了，伊听起即两个修行人咧讲话，伊则感觉也奇怪，说干那因说因看起一条毒蛇伫路咧啊，所以因赶紧走去看，说咱来去看卖咧。伊说看，说原来哪有啥物蛇，这个都是一堆黄金啊！所以这两个白鸭仔也欢喜，佮一直说，我昨仔迄两个修行人那作戆啊！说看起黄金，佮袂晓捡倒去，原在放咧迄位，无咱来摕，咱全大家摕倒去哦。所以因真欢喜，将块黄金拢捡搬倒去因厝内。So there was one day there was Buddha and Alan. They were walking on the street. They were going somewhere, and then suddenly they saw a pile of gold on the road. And because there is nobody around, they do not know to whom these gold bars belong. So Buddha asked Alan, pointing to the gold bars, "So Alan, do you see a poisonous snake around?" Alan then answered, "Yes, Buddha, I saw a poisonous snake." So they just walk away without minding those gold bars. But beside them, there were a pair of father and son who were working in the farm. So they heard what Buddha and Alan was talking about, and they were curious what kind of poisonous snake they were referring to. So when they went to the spot and then just to try to take a look, but they were so surprised that there was no snake around. Instead, they saw a pile of gold bar. So the father and son was very happy, and they tried to take away all the gold bars and took them home. And inside, they were thinking that those two cultivators were really very stupid people. Why did they just leave all these gold bars without taking even one of them with them when they go? But after a few days, the king of that place discovered that some gold bars in their national treasury was stolen. So he was very mad, he was angry, and he ordered his people to look everywhere so that they can know what happened to those gold bars. So after looking each and every place in that area, the gold bar in the house of the father and son was discovered. So they were so surprised also that these gold bars will be belongs to the king. And so because there is proof that the gold bar is in their house, they were taken into prison. And in the prison, the father and son were in deep thoughts. So ibodo ako, sige kokong, sa 發現說伊在黃金屬是起人頭摕去咯，伊發現說伊國庫內面黃金無去咯，起人頭摕去咯，所以非常的生氣。伊說叫伊的人說，無論怎樣，恁都要將這黃金扯出來，互我知影說迄黃金到底發生什麼代志啊？所以真的，伊一直扯，扯啊！一日啊，成是按一個白阿家出來找到這黃金，所以這兩個白阿家因也是怎啊都無法通想說這項代志會發生，因為因想說因摕捡到迄黃金是因的福氣，因唔知影說因為黃金因煞去掠去坐跤，所以按家國內因兩個就一直想，說真冤枉哦，咱也無去偷摕，咱只是按路邊捡到的，為什麼咱會去掠來關咧家國內面啊？因則一直想，因則想到佛祖甲阿蘭咧講的話。因說阿蘭說，伊個老爸就咁講說，阿蘭啊，你有看去毒蛇無？伊個囝一直哭，伊則學阿蘭回答因老爸說，佛祖啊，我看去咯，迄個是毒蛇。So when they were in prison, they were both in deep thoughts that they were thinking that they were treated very unjustly. They did not steal anything, but now they are in prison. So they thought of the conversation between Buddha and Alan. And then the father said, Alan, do you see a poisonous snake? Then the son followed Alan and answered, yes, Buddha, I see a poisonous snake. So the jail guard has heard their conversation, and he thought that their conversation is a bit strange. So hige le ko kai ka gakwa, hiakin le kong wei jo cảm giác真兩個人咧講話是有淡薄奇怪，因咧講什麼毒蛇，所以就將因兩個咧講嘅話去報告給國王聽。國王聽了，伊說咱就過來查這項代志，所以一直查落去，才知影說這個白阿家原來是去人冤枉嘅，所以就給因放出來。So when the jail guard heard their conversation, he thought that this pair of father and son was really talking very strangely. Why were they mentioning about some poisonous snake? So he reported the conversation to the king, and the king also think that it is strange, so he ordered for investigation of the case. So later on, it was found out that they were really not the one who stole the gold, and they were released from prison. So ito lang, sim 真容易去貪念，咱這個貪心真容易就會發起來，所以咱的貪心若發起來，無好的後果就會發生。發生了，咱往往是等發生代志發生了，咱才來後悔。甲一對白阿家撒當，等因掠去佇監獄內面咯，因才來想到佛陀甲阿蘭咧講的話，就是看去一對黃金，托因的托因起貪心，才害因去掠去關。安尼這個貪念是可能一隻毒蛇，這個貪念害因去互人冤枉，害因掠去關咧監獄內面。So our greed will always be the factor that will bring us into to something bad that will happen. Then after something happens to us, that is the time that we will regret. Just like this father and son, After they were thrown into prison, that was the time that they regretted what they did. And also, but that was the time when they thought of the conversation between Buddha and Alan. And it was that gold bar that brought up their greedy heart. And it was those gold bar that brought them into prison. So, 我后到落尾，因才想到阿兰甲佛祖咧讲嘅話，佛祖甲阿蘭講嘅話，就是救因出來嘅原因。因若無去想到，因若無後悔，無去想到阿蘭甲佛祖咧講嘅話，因就會定定去關喺監獄內面。So it was good that they thought of the conversation between Buddha and Alan, that it was the one thing that helped them to get out of prison. 悔恨之財不可處 We should not take what does not belong to us. When something good happens to us, it is not always good. It is not always luck or a blessing. 所以咱就受惠，所惠受多，這是人生最安穩的生活。So we have to stay on our post and do what we have to do and do what we need to do. That is the best thing that will give us a peaceful life. Chí Công lão sư甲咱講說，這個訓文 This is another holy teaching of our teacher Chí Công. 萬事萬物造有天 Everything is created by heaven. 天頂甲地頂攏種的物件，攏是天老母娘托咱的。咱人根本無法能創什麼物件。規矩方圓定分班 The compass and the rulers make regular divisions. 規甲矩就是無相的工具。規是咧創異形的，矩是咧畫直線甲方形的，是一個因這兩項物件是一個比喻，所以就是說修行者就有規有矩，就遵守佛規。天生讚民有佛則 Heaven made mankind and everything else with pleasure. 伊說世間頂的人的百姓，攏種的物件甲攏種的人，天甲地攏種都有的原則。伊說這個就是道。若是人，這個就是咱的天性。民之平易，易得含。Virtuous people act according to conscience. 所以這道就是咱的良心。若有道，咱才有法能咱若做照道去做，咱做代志攏總遵守咱的佛規去做，咱就有法能有一個好的特性。規矩森嚴勿可改 Rules are to be kept cautiously and not altered. 佛規是非常的莊嚴的，咱無法能隨便說咱愛過就該過，咱就照佛規去做，咱袂做咧用咱個人的想法去解釋做佛規。So, rules are to be kept very cautiously. We should follow what the rules and regulation, what the Buddha's rules has told us to do. We should not interpret them to our own meaning. We should not interpret them to suit our comfort. We have to follow what we are told to do very strictly. 何況大道之威嚴，伊說規甲矩，咱都着真尊嚴、真正照伊來做。何況說是一個道，所以道咱就更較道是更較威嚴的，所以 大道，咱应该着更加去尊敬伊，更加去对伊的叫咱怎样做，咱着一定着遵守伊去做。天无规律，四时乱。Without rules, 4 seasons will be in chaos. 天若无道，咱就会怎啊？咱的若无规律，咱的四时就是说咱的四季，咱的春夏秋冬。春夏秋冬就会乱，咱无法通说春天了一定是夏天，夏天了一定是秋天，伊会乱。So it says that without rules, the 4 seasons will be in chaos. Because without the rules, the 4 seasons will not be coming one after the other. They might be coming in different order. And we, the people that are living in this world, will be in great chaos. 夏炎、冬炎、夏寒皆倒颠 winter heat and summer chill all in reverse. So 这个四季若无照行，咱兼猜，咱应该是冬天的时阵会变做野热，应该是夏天，应该是野热的时阵会变做野寒，会龙江会倒掉，会无照来。所以天若无规律就会乱，那人若无法规，嘛是会乱。所以人若无法规，咱就无法通将一个人应该做的代志好好的做出来，而且咱会去做到也做法着法规的代志。日月复行无归道 ，Sun and Moon travels without direction。所以若无规矩，太阳、月亮、星天顶的星龙江会乱。咱知影说太阳逐日早起有太阳，到下晡伊就会按西边倒落去咯。若无规矩，若无一个大道，太阳欠在是暗暝才会起来，日死才倒落去，嘛无办。So the sun and moon will travel without direction. 星宿乱闯，演大乱 ，stars rush into great catastrophe. 咱天顶的星，甲天顶的星球，龙江是有因的咧行的 orbit， 所以若无一个道，欠在一个星球甲别个星球会一直相争，咱徛伫一个地球顶的人，要怎啊会活啊？咱嘛是逐日。逐个人会去影响着，嘛无法通活落去，所以咱会拄着真大的灾难。如果说天甲地无道，咱人嘛无法通活。星球相争，地球嘛会去歹去。地无规律，理何在 ？Without Tao, nothing can live in this world. 咱若无道。咱即世间顶的物件有伫一项有法通活，说咱每一个人地球顶每一块厝，每一个山，每一个海，都是一个地球咧载。所以若无道，咱若说无道，为什么一个地球哪有法通载翻侪物件？有法通载翻大的山，有法通载翻大的海，而且海内面阁有翻动的水，所以咱着相信说，一定是有道，才有法通地球才有法通载翻侪物件。若无道，山会崩，海嘛会歹去，所以就是一个大灾难。So without Tao, nothing can live in this world. You have to know that in this world there are all the people live in this world, and it carries all the houses, and it carries all the mountains and all the oceans and rivers. So without Tao, how come the world is able to carry on it all these things? How come it can carry the mountain that is very, very big and very, very heavy? How come it can carry the big sea and ocean? And we have to imagine inside the oceans and seas, this water inside it are really very, very heavy. So without Tao, these mountains will break down, and the sea will not, it cannot hold the seawater, and it will be a great chaos for all of us. 无理怎能在山川? Without Tao, how the world is able to hold the mountains and the rivers. So we should all think and thank our Heavenly Mother for giving us, for having Tao that gives us peace and harmony here on earth. 无遵佛规就真艰苦生活. If one does not follow Buddha rules, he can never become a Buddha. 志公老師說，佛規行轉好，你唔顧你無要教伊去行。恁講，恁後擺咁有法人成佛、成仙、成聖。Buddha Jigong said, the Buddha rules and regulations are very good, but if you do not follow them and do not do what you are supposed to do, how can you become saints, Buddhas, and sages? 比如說，咱的莫言戒，這個掛在壁頂，咱的點算是規定咯，咱的操持規定咯。不過大家也個是偷偷按邊頭咧講話，即係這個檢視咱咧循規蹈矩。莫言戒就是搭咧壁頂嘅說，咱若咧開班，還是咧開會，咱就唔通講話，咱的手機也是就該禁台袂等。不過，迄個最掛咧，咱大家都有看去，而且迄個是真簡單的規律。咱也個是大家真想盡辦法按片頭，偷偷咧講話，偷偷咧佚佗手機。所以老師說，你若安尼，你要怎啊？後擺要怎啊生活成聖 ？Just like the sign which says, observe silence. It is a sign that we can always see on the wall that when we are conducting lectures, we are not supposed to create any sound or any noise. And it is the rule that is set by the masters and the program coordinators. But despite that, even though that everyone can read and see those signs, most of us will still try our very best to still talk with our neighbors and also to try to browse on our cell phones. So our teacher Jigong asked us that if even just this very simple instruction we cannot follow, how are we saying that we are already observing rules and regulations?所以佛規非常的重要，伊非常的重要。上天為什麼咱要設佛規給咱啊？為什麼要做一個規定啊？天甲地中間有道，日月星龍迥才袂凊彩走，才袂相爭。咱才有日頭，有月光。所以一個修行人呢，若是用一個修行人來講，咱若無遵守做佛規，咱就會去做也做大的代志，因為咱若無佛規來咧甲咱提醒，咱就會，咱想要做啥物，咱就會去做出來。咱嘛無去想說，這個是大的，還是對的。咱若安尼一直做落去，咱就無法人去成佛。So Buddha rules are very important. Our Heavenly Mother made Buddha rules for us as a guideline to know whether we are doing the right thing or not. Because there is Tao, the sun and the stars in the sky, and also the planets are all moving in their own orbit, and everything follows that orbit very strictly so that nothing will happen. As a cultivator, if we do not abide to these Buddha rules and regulations, we will be doing wrong things without us realizing it. We will not know if whether we are doing good or whether we are doing the wrong thing. So if that is the case, how can we become Buddhas later on? Hụt quy chính hô,所以ikalan sẽ mang thân有thân增吃，咱若无照佛规去做，迄个就是对咱无帮助。咱若有法通照佛规好好去做，迄个有法通帮助咱去生活成仙。济公老师讲，点传师亲像咱的再生父母，点传师并列规定落来的话，咱若无要听，咱只要听仙佛有时啊来借巧，则要讲的则来借巧时来对咱来讲的话，安尼咱敢是有毋是有分别心。Teacher Jigong said, "Our masters are like our parents. If we do not listen and follow to the rules of our masters, and will only listen to the spirits that talk to us using a holy medium, are we not having discriminations?" 所以咱会电传师，咱会甲人讲的代志，有的人咱会讲说，着仙佛来甲咱讲的，咱才相信。电传师咱毋免相信，因为电传师。像说咱叫咱就毋通讲话，电传师伫台顶咧讲话，咱伫下骹咧细声咧讲，电传师袂发现啦。毋过一阵仙佛就甲人讲说，就仙佛嘛是知影说，就算说叫咱就静静听课，咱也阁是逐个会咧偷偷讲话。所以毋是说电传师毋知影就袂要紧，因为电传师虽然无听起，仙佛嘛知影说咱咧做诶代志是毋对诶。毋管电传师怎啊规定，只要是合理的，咱都着照伊去做。这个才是循规蹈矩。Therefore, Teacher Jigong said, no matter what rules the masters have set, as long as it is reasonable, everyone should follow and perform it. It is following rules and regulations. 所以只要是合理的，咱一定着照电传师咧讲的去做。心中佛堂的佛规，济公老师说，循规蹈矩，毋是只然后咧叫咱着遵守外在的佛规就好，其实咱着问咱家己摆，咱有时时刻刻咧遵守咱心中佛堂来做代志无 ？Teacher Jigong said, "It is not enough to only follow the rules and regulations of the external physical temple. Please ask yourselves, have you been following the rules of the temple within you, the temple of your own heart?" 所以咱来求道，就是要找咱将咱的佛心都找倒来。所以咱是毋是着去过毛病去比起，咱的心性来来做，咱着存佛心，讲佛话。讲佛话，做佛代志，做佛事，所以唔通去乱去。So after we have received Tao, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to look to take back our Buddha heart. So what we need to do is that we have to eliminate our bad temper and also to change our habits. We have to do in order to change ourselves to become a better person, and we have to do to have so that we can have Buddha hearts. We have to talk like the Buddha, and we have to do what Buddha was doing. We should never we should always abide by it. 所以，什么是佛中心中的佛堂的佛规呢？这个就是人之初性本善，性本善，人人都有的良心。What are the rules of the temple of your heart? It is the original good nature that everyone has, the conscience that everyone has at birth. So lang每一个人出世迄阵，大家都是一个真善良的人。咱出世来做人，大家都是无咧想歹的，像一个细汉的囡仔。你搁怎啊甲伊冤，两个囡仔怎啊冤家，搁死啊久永远在倒好势咯。因袂说去记说你对我干哪，你对我做啥物，搁死啊久就无咧想怀代志咯。又搁也欢欢喜喜的咧佚佗咯。所以一个人，迄个就是咱的良心。你着问家己，你做代志有咧凭你的良心无？ Ask yourself, have you been dealing with people and doing things according to your conscience? 你有照你的良心法规去做无？你对人有真诚无？有慈悲无？这个就是你的良心，你的法心。Have you been dealing with people and things according to your conscience? Have you been sincere towards people? Are you being compassionate? Buddha rule is your conscience. So, 咱若用咱的法规去做，咱的一个准线，咱就会知影说，咱着怎啊对人，咱着怎啊做代志。迄个就是咱为什么咱着去学做法规。So we have to use the Buddha rules as a standard of how we are going to deal with people and how we are going to do things, so that we can use our conscience to be a baseline of what we are doing every day. 修道行道，唔是咧看外表嘅，伊着看你内在。外在嘅法规，咱着遵守。毋过咱心中嘅法规，搁较着真注意嘅去遵守。咱嘛着时时去察咱心中嘅不定，毋通互家己做违背天良嘅代志。一个才是真正嘅循规蹈矩。Cultivation is not how you look. It is your inner self. Follow Buddha rules on the outside and be very careful to abide to the Buddha rules of your true self. Always clean the Buddha lamp of your heart. Do not act against your conscience. That is then acting according to the rules. So, 亲像咱来佛堂，咱会看起说初115，咱就擦咱的佛顶就擦得推金，清气。所以咱心内的，咱内面的，咱心中的佛顶，咱嘛是着逐日真留意，真小心去甲擦推个光明。咱着逐日问家己说，咱今仔做的代志有好势无？咱今仔对别人、对人、对做代志有去伤着别人无？有去做对别人无好的代志出来无？安尼咱才有可能说，咱是咧用咱的良心咧做代志。咱若有法咧用良心做代志，每一项代志都会也顺利。So, just like the Buddha lamp in our temple, we are cleaning it. We have to clean it very often so that it will shine, and we can see that it is very nice to look at. Just like our the Buddha heart, the Buddha lamp in our heart, that we have to clean it every day. We have to make it shine. We have to leave it without any dust. So how can we do it? We have to do things through our conscience, using our conscience. We have to ask ourselves, have we done anything wrong to other people? Have we hurt anyone in our daily life, daily ways? Have we done anything unjust to others? So it is through this, through using our conscience, that we can be sure that at least we are not hurting other people. And that, according to our Qigong Lao Sư, is abiding to the rules and regulations. 即阵咱过来讲一个咱的原先咱的故事。这个是一个米店的咧纪晓员的故事。 上摆有一间米店，这间米店是一个姓陈的的人开的。因有一间，伊有2个家，这2个，这个姓陈的是咧做是一个米店内面咧做工，所以这个姓陈的有2个家，伊伫这个米店内伊是咧管销，所以伊的薪金嘛袂歹，而且因某嘛是咧做小有可能有咧做小生意，所以因每一日的生活都毋是遐艰苦。所以这个姓陈的咧古小，伊有一个也是伫迄内咧做工的姓张。这个姓张的同事一日忽然间毋好，了去互医生看，医生说说这个人的病也严重咯，已经无久咯，嫌在无偌久伊就会过身咯。所以这个姓陈的听起，伊的同伴无偌久就过身咯。所以店内2个人，伊若过身咯，伊咧毋好咯。店内就剩我家一个人咯，伊才想着说，小也是我咧管，而且无别人看我，无别人看说我一日咧做啥物代志咯，所以将迄个小内面摕2千箍，摕来伊家己要用，而且将迄条小记咧一个咧毋好的姓张的名内面。So there was a grain shop. There were 2 employees. One is the one who is keeping the accounts, sort of an accountant of that grain shop. And then he has another co-employee, the Mr. Chang. So one day, Mr. Tan found out that Mr. Chang is already very ill, and the doctor says that he is not going to live long. So Mr. Tan thought to himself that there are only 2 employees in the shop, and my companion, my co-employee, is already sick, and he will die he is going to die according to the doctor. So he took 2,000 from the shop, and then he listed the 2,000 in the name of the sick companion, Mr. Chang. So when Mr. Chang died, since he was not very well to do, they do not the wife do not have much money to bury Mr. Chang. So she has to sell all everything that she has in order to bury her husband. So after that, not long, the owner of the grain shop has discovered that he lacks 2,000 from his shop. So upon checking on the notes on the books, he found out that it was Mr. Chang who took that money from his shop. So he tried to accuse the wife of Mr. Chang. So because the wife has no money, how can he pay 2,000 to the owner? And he doesn't even know what happened. Why did his husband has to get 2,000 from the shop? So the owner sued the wife, and then because the place she lives far away from the city, every time there is the case will be in process, she has to travel very far in order to answer all these questions that the government is going to ask her. So not long before that, the wife is already feeling ill, and then the 2 sons that they have are also already sick. So before they can really find out what happened to the 2,000 pesos, the 2 children of Mr. Chang died, and the wife also was ill. And then later on, after 2 years, she was already having some mental problems. So But since Mr. Tan took those 2,000 for his personal use, he was so happy that nobody found out what happened because Mr. Chang has already died. But without knowing it, after a few years, his wife also got ill. And after a while, the wife will always shout that you are the one who caused our family to break down. So after a while, after half a year, the wife of Mr. Tan also died. And then Mr. Tan had another new wife, but the wife also was not was also having very many problems. And then the son also died. And it was the time that the second wife took all his money and ran away. So Mr. Tan later on just realized that what he did was wrong, even though that he had the ill-gotten wealth and he has used it and has been having a good life, but everything that he did turned into karma, and that is what happened, and what happened to his whole family. So again,生蛋呢的同事，这个生场的人，伊有点觉唔好，所以伊这个生蛋呢，若偷摕迄2千块，虽然是记伫伊的少咧，伊嘛无法人起来说，伊无摕到迄2千块，所以那个店主落尾就是咧要找这个2千块。伊看起说迄登记的是一个生场的名，所以伊就告一个生场的，这个生场的都假信咯，因某嘛无钱，人还一个2千块。啊，每一日，伊若要伊咧告伊，每一日伊就去官府咧去答复看这2千块有找有无？所以来来去去也辛苦，伊2个囡仔。也是假唔好，也是假信。伊一个某落尾嘛是精神有头壳说不定有啥侦查，所以一个生蛋呢，伊摕这2千块，伊也欢喜，就说无人知影说伊摕迄2千块去，因为伊的同伴都假信咯。毋过无偌久，伊家己的某嘛说唔好，因某假信了，伊佫带另外一个某，伊的某。伊的家2个家无偌久，也是结唔好。了伊的某第2某将伊农奖的钱，农奖偷摕走无去咯。所以这个生蛋呢，知影落尾才家己知影说，虽然我有法人去摕，有法人去无辛苦摕人的钱来用，毋过到尾嘛是我原在着去得到一个报应。所以即唔是咱的物件，咱永遠就唔通去摕。So it tells us that anything that does not belong to us, we should not take it, and that is also mentioned in the rules and regulations. 志工老師個甲咱講說，收刀袂做你離罰規。Another topic from our Jikong Laos, another discussion for our Jikong Laos is that when we are cultivating, we should not get away from the Buddha rules and regulations. He said, 咱若無去遵守這法規，咱一個人若無咧遵守法規，就是較咱一個痴迷的人，你行唔知影，你行你一個痴迷的人會也驚說，欠知伊會去夾入咧一個深的深海內面。因為伊袂看去，所以一直驚，一直驚。毋過咱若有遵守法規去行，咱的佛祖一定會保庇咱。Once our rules and the rules and regulations are violated, it is like a blind person who might fall into the abyss. But when we act according to Buddha rules, all Buddhas and saints will bless us with peacefulness. 呢就是靠咱一個講傳統，就是一個無明理的人，毋知影說。法規袂曉解釋法規，伊將伊家己愛的解釋 伊用伊家己的解释来解释法规，伊用伊家己爱做的代志去做，因说这个就是法规。所以你若安尼，咱就会较这个咱若安尼去照咱家己的意思去做，咱就会滑落去一个深深的土迷内面，而且咱虽然也欢喜咧做咱家己爱做的代志，不过咱唔知影这个就是一个要互咱滑落去的陷阱。So the deluded will act as if it is nothing important, that they will think that with not following rules and Buddha rules and regulations is not very important. They will explain the rules with their own meaning. They will not follow the rules, but they will take a different meaning to explain it and to explain it to themselves, to suit themselves, and this will bring them into mud pits and cesspools. Mud pits and without following the rules, we will fall into mud pits and cesspools. Cesspools is a place that carries the dirt of people. So without following the rules and regulations, they will become very happy because they are enjoying what they want in life, but without knowing that this temporary happiness will lead them into very dangerous traps. So, 唔知影說，迄已經燒啊到咱的目睭咧咯。袂曉說就去過，親像一隻船行到海的中心，海若真深，你一隻船若有空，你按迄個大海中嘛無法人去修理一隻破船。是較咱一個戇的人，伊要拍一隻好，伊空手要去拍一隻好，伊要過一個真深的海，伊嘛無要去坐船，伊要家己一個人行過去，這個是無法人伊無法人做到的代志，所以唔知影說，咱袂曉想說，早起雖然咱也平安，到我暗暝咱減世願才會返平安。Unable to realize the danger that is really near. So without following the rules and regulations, we will be deluded. We will not know that danger is already very near us. And it will be very difficult to repair the leak when the boat is at deep seas. So when we do not understand and follow the rules and regulations, we are like a boat that has a leak, and then we keep traveling. And when we find out and realize our mistakes, we are already at the center of the big ocean. So there is no way to repair the boat during that time. The ignorant will fight the tiger with bare hands. He will think that he is equipped all by himself. He will fight everything by himself, that he will also cross a deep river on barefoot. He will think that he does not need the help of anybody. He does not need the help of the Buddha rules and regulations, that he will just cross the river without acquiring a boat. He will just cross the river by himself. And we will know that it is also very dangerous. When it is safe in the morning, there is no assurance that danger will not come at night. Sometimes when we are enjoying life, we will think that everything is okay. But when we are not following and doing things in accordance to the Buddha rules and regulations, we should all fear that danger is very near. So let us not forget to follow the Buddha rules and regulations. So 咱暗暝就是一個循規蹈矩，咱就學習到一位已經9點咯。若有唔對的所在，請電傳師補充請先父寫罪。Our discussion will be up to this point. If I have said anything wrong, I hope our Buddhas will pardon me, and then I hope our 電傳師 will add to what I have said wrong. 謝謝電傳師慈悲。
時間的關係啊，常常啊，拄咧講一批度。那麼咱請美鳳助理退休啊，做一個簡單的翻譯。
會做英文啊，我也不會電傳師。
了解哈 ，OK。頭先咱感謝陳師姐，感謝各位電傳師甲各位道親來參班吼。那麼今仔日真正感恩迄個 宣传助理甲咱讲这篇循规蹈矩啊，15条或过第4条循规蹈矩这篇道理。有这个机会咧，咱才有去了解到拄啊，这讲老师甲咱写遐侪副文，甲咱解说为什么要爱写遐侪副规礼节。
Nagpapasalamat tayo sa lahat ng ating mga Buddha at Santo, pati sa ating mga Lao Chenren, sa pagtatalakay ni Sister Swanson tungkol sa Buddha's discipline. Ang mga sinabi niya ay tungkol sa mga sinabi din ni Chikong Buddha para malaman natin ano ang mga Buddha's discipline na dapat natin sundan.
老师甲咱说吼，不管有几礼节也好，还是讲一般，咱伫个社会上甲人为人处事迄寡规矩也好咧，欠是会限制咱的自由。
Ang mga mensahe ng ating Chikong Buddha, ito ay hindi dahil para kontrolin ang ating freedom, kundi binibigyan tayo ng rules and regulation upang maging tamang ating pamamalakad.
颠倒掉的，伊是要互咱平安，要互咱公平。
Ang mensahe ng ating Chikong Buddha ay upang magkaroon tayo ng kaliwanagan.
個順時好行。
At maging mapayapa ang ating kabuhayan.
咱若吼，無照這樣規矩，也是講無照這個規禮節去做的時陣哦，敢若親像拄仔伊說，學一口深的水，學一個真深的迄個古井，真無好的菌吼，也是講一個災害啊，互咱家己搬落去。
Kaya pag hindi natin sinundan ang mga rules and regulation ng ating Buddha's mga binigay ng ating Buddha's discipline, tungkol sa ating Buddha's discipline, ito ay parang gumawa tayo ng isang hukay na tayo ay maaaring mahulog tayo sa hukay, malalim na hukay.
即講老師甲咱比如甲遐尼清楚，遐尼我有真正直接，伊就是有伊的用心，
Direct ang pagtatalakay sa atin ng ating Chikong Buddha, ang mensahe ng ating Chikong Buddha, direkta ang kanyang pagmemensahe para sa ating kapayapaan.
咱講伊就真係了解吼，天對人就叫做三才，天甲地甲人，這三項叫做三才。
Kaya dapat natin tandaan ang langit, ang lupa, ang tao. Ito yung tinatawag natin tatlong katauhan, sanchay, tatlong bagay sa mundo.
Ano na lang mo po ko ibo, Jim po.
Kaya mahalaga ang tao.
Jim po ko. Ang ko, nan yung sinun ho, to si boy. Kaya ko nan eh po ko ito si ay kiyong.
Yan sa susami.
自重.
Kaya ang ating preciousness ay dapat natin maging pahalagahan.
咱吼啦，袂晓注重，袂晓自律的時陣，袂曉按照規矩良心來的時陣咧，道理甲咱說，講人若無照天理，天就無照價值。
Kaya ang sabi nga ng langit, pag hindi natin sinusundan ang lahat ng mga bagay, ay hindi natin sinusundan ang mga sinasabi ng kalangitan.
這兩句話吼，又較唔免講傷多嘛，咱就用甲我等去看這2年所發生的代志，就知這兩句話意思。
Kaya tingnan lang natin ang ating itong 2 taon na to na dinadanas natin dahil sa hindi natin pagsunod sa mga lahat ng mga itinuro ng ating mga Buddha at Santo, ang kanyang mga disiplina, kaya nararanasan natin ang kahirapan na itong nangyayari sa atin ngayon.
做一個吼，有修有規禮節的道親，甲做一個有修國家條規的迄個國民，迄就是咱的本分，咱每一個人嘅安分守己。
Kaya bawat isa sa atin dapat natin sundan ang lahat ng mga rules and regulation ng bansa at ang Buddha's discipline ng mga Buddha at Santo.
人嘅做天拢喺看，
Ang ginagawa ng tao ay nakatingin ang langit sa atin.
只有咱大家愛照這規矩來做嘅時陣吼，咱嘅地球、咱嘅世界再恢復應擺遐尼光明嘅迄個前景。
Sundin lang natin ang lahat ng mga Buddha's discipline ay babalik na babalik din ang kapayapaan sa ating kapaligiran.
唔是講上天愛甲咱處罰啊，實在是人做出來。
Hindi tayo pinaparusahan ng langit, kundi gawa din natin ito.
所以咱講吼，要改迄個靈嘛，愛迄個保迄個靈迄個人，吼，解靈還須繫靈人，所以咱家己愛了解，吼，家己愛自律，家己愛自重，吼，咱的未來，咱的明天再更較好。
Kaya kung gusto natin magkaroon ng kapayapaan, kaginhawaan sa ating buhay, hindi lang sa ating buhay, kundi sa ating kapaligiran, kailangan tayo rin ang gagawa ng lahat ng paraan upang maging panata tayo, maging mapayapa tayong lahat.
今仔日點鐘到了，咱就簡單甲各位做這個結論，祝各位就請大家身體健康，出入平安，萬事如意。
Kaya hanggang dito na lang ang ating pagtatalakay, ang binigay sa atin ng mensahe ng ating master ay maging mapayapa po tayong lahat at makaroon ng kalusugan, magandang kalusugan.
安尼咱結班。